Every home has one. You open a drawer in your kitchen, and there it is. 3 mystery keys, a dried-up Sharpie, a soy sauce packet from 2018, and 7 rubber bands. Welcome to the junk drawer. But why do we do this? Why do rational human beings keep physical objects that serve absolutely zero purpose in our daily lives? The answer isn't that you're lazy, and it's not that you're a hoarder in training. The truth is that your brain is actively, neurochemically sabotaging your ability to throw things away, and it all starts with a glitch in our evolutionary programming. For roughly 99% of human history, we were hunter-gatherers. Our ancestors lived in a world of extreme scarcity, where finding a perfectly shaped rock or a piece of durable animal bone could mean the difference between surviving the winter or not. Your brain evolved to reward you for acquiring and keeping resources. When you stash a perfectly good cardboard box in the garage, because it's a really good box, you are experiencing a primal survival instinct. Your dopamine receptors are firing, telling you that you have secured a vital vessel and the tribe will survive. The problem is, your hunter-gatherer brain is now living in an era of Amazon Prime, but nobody updated its software. This evolutionary hoarding gets supercharged by a psychological phenomenon known as the Endowment Effect. In 1990, behavioral economist Richard Thaler and Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman conducted a famous study where they gave half of the students in a college class a simple $6 coffee mug. When they asked the mug owners how much they'd sell it for, they demanded around twice as much money as the non-owners were willing to pay for it. The exact moment an object becomes yours, your brain instantly inflates its value simply because of ownership. That random promotional pen from a dentist's office you got 3 years ago? To the universe, it's worth 2 cents. To your brain, it's your pen, and losing it feels like a personal robbery. This brings us to loss aversion, the idea that the psychological pain of losing something is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something equal. Neuroscientists have actually put people in fMRI machines and scanned their brains while they decided whether to throw things away. In people with strong clutter-saving tendencies, deciding to trash a personal item activated the insula and anterior cingulate cortex. If those names sound familiar, it's because they are the exact same regions of the brain that light up when you experience physical pain, like touching a hot stove or slamming your hand in a door. Your brain literally interprets throwing away an outdated micro USB cable as physical discomfort. Then there's the notorious just-in-case trap, which is usually powered by the sunk cost fallacy. When you look at an object, your brain doesn't just see what it is, it hallucinates highly specific future scenarios. You find yourself thinking about buying an Allen wrench-powered unicycle next week and needing this exact tool. Or you remember you paid $40 for a phone case in 2016, so throwing it away means admitting you wasted money. The money is already gone. But keeping the dead phone case allows your brain to maintain the illusion that the purchase was still a good decision. You aren't keeping the object, you're keeping the justification. You might also notice a bizarre loyalty to things that are objectively terrible, like a wobbly bookshelf or a terribly painted birdhouse you made in high school. This is driven by the IKEA effect, a cognitive bias where consumers place a disproportionately high value on products they partially created. A 2011 study by researchers at Harvard, Yale, and Duke found that subjects were willing to pay a 63% premium for furniture they assembled themselves compared to identical pre-assembled items. The labor you put into something makes you blind to its flaws. You don't see a crooked shelf, you see your blood, sweat, and missing screws. We also treat our stuff as an extension of our identity. Psychologists call this extended self-theory. That acoustic guitar pick, the ticket stub from a mediocre movie, or the dusty, half-finished knitting project aren't just objects. They represent past versions of you or fully optimized future versions of you. Throwing away the knitting supplies feels like throwing away the dream of becoming a calm, artistic person who knits sweaters on rainy Sundays. Tossing out your college textbooks feels like throwing away your intellect. Our things act as physical anchors for our memories and aspirations, and parting with them feels like erasing a piece of who we are. This psychological glitch isn't even confined to the physical world anymore. We have successfully exported the junk drawer to the cloud. Take a look at your phone right now. You probably have thousands of unread emails, 3 years of blurry concert videos you will never watch, and hundreds of screenshots of recipes or memes you meant to send to someone in 2022. Digital hoarding bypasses the spatial limits of a physical drawer, but it is driven by the exact same primal urges like loss aversion and identity preservation. The anxiety of a full hard drive is the modern equivalent of an overflowing closet. The junk drawer is essentially a psychological compromise. It's a designated containment zone where your brain stores decision fatigue, loss aversion, and unrealized dreams, all neatly tucked away behind a brass cabinet handle. Every time you throw a random twist tie into that drawer, it's not a flaw in your character, it's just millions of years of evolutionary survival wiring trying to protect you from losing a key to a padlock you threw away 5 years ago. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.